It's a beautiful day in the capital city.
You stole my opening line. You know me too well, Patrick. It is a gorgeous day in the capital city.
I will tell you this. I wore a sweatshirt to this ballpark in the month of May for the first time ever today.
I believe you.
You and I have spent many many hot May days in this park, but right now it is 68 degrees. The wind out of the north that is blowing out. And Jaden Heavner needs to get back on track. She's had a couple of rough starts and giving up some home runs, control issues, but she's got a chance today to kind of get back going.
Yeah, no question. She has all the tools. She just has to find that consistency of being able to not be. Sometimes she's not effectively wild, and she starts off with a high pitch.
Kylie Shaw is the lefty bat who takes it high, ball one. Shaw is their leadoff hitter. She was 0 for 2 and has been struggling. Last 25 games hitting just 192 at the top of their order. Showing bunt, takes it up and away. And it's 2-0. The LSU defense, Hodge at third, Kylie Edwards at short, Sierra Daniel at second, Tori Edwards at first, Bajaron catching, Lorenz in left, Lassiter center, and Franklin in right. It has been the standard LSU defense for a pretty good while. Now, Avery Hodge went very quickly as Heavner went to the back of the circle, make an adjustment. Quick conversation, and now here is the 2-0. And that is a strike over the inside corner at 68 miles an hour. Auburn has two lefties at the top of their order, and then it is righties all the way down from 3 through 9.
And no question, those first two hitters for Auburn are their best hitters.
The 2-1. Lefty takes it up high. It's 3 balls and a strike. Shaw is their leader in walks in SEC play. She has 16, and that is by far and away the most of any Auburn batter in league play. Here's the 3-1. And that's a strike outside corner, had a little movement to it. Then the count is full. Now Auburn needs a win. They are trying to stay at 500 and be considered. Their RPI is plenty good enough for the NCAA tournament. The 3-2 is a little bit up and in, and Heavner has walked the first batter. That one didn't miss by much, but it did miss. So Shaw is back on base, and Hastings, their best hitter by far in SEC play. She's 304 in SEC play. No other Auburn batter is hitting over 224. Had 11 RBI against Ole Miss last weekend. Lefty bat, a strike called inside corner. It's 0-1.
You talked about Shaw being the SEC leader, and she just added another walk to that league-leading tally.
And Auburn, by and large, has not been a good offensive team. The 0-1, line drive, base hit into center field. That'll put first and second. Jammed her a little bit, but she got enough of it to get it over Kylie Edwards out near the second base bag. So Auburn will start with 2 on, and here's Michaela Walker, who doubled in her return to Tiger Park on Thursday night.
Well, if your best pitch is a curveball, that ball has to spin and move through the zone. That ball was a little bit too much on the white.
Walker, a powerful right-handed bat, hitting 175 in league play. And did not get that call, just a little bit off the plate, and it's 1-0. So Auburn the first 2 on. Heavner's last 3 starts, only 5 2/3 innings total. 1-0, right-handed bat. That did not get that call. That got a lot of zone, it looked like, but it is 2-0.
Well, Patrick, I've said all year long, for a couple of years now, the strike zone is a postage stamp.
Yep, that one seemed to get a lot of the plate. But the 2-0 coming. Well, might have got a make-up there. That one might have been lower than the last one, but she got the strike, and it's 2-1.
I concur with you. I thought that one was a little low. Doesn't matter what we think, though.
Well, 2-1. They play Walker a little bit opposite way. Don't think she's going to pull. 2-1. Missed low and away, ball 3. Now, Heavner in her last 5 2/3 innings, that's 3 starts, 5 2/3 innings, 11 walks. And is in danger of walking a batter to load the bases here. 3-1.
And not even close.
Yeah, that probably hit her.
Those pitches are not competitive.
No, and unfortunate, and Beth Torina is going to go out to the circle for a visit. Unfortunately, this is kind of how Heavner has started the last 3 starts. as her pitches just are not close enough to the zone for the batters to chase. And not a change to be made here, but Beth's going to speak to Huebner and say, this is what we need to do.
Yep, try to small adjustments, you know. Sometimes she's picking and it's just missing, and then other times it's like those last two pitches weren't competitive.
Yep, so she is kind of just trying to nurse our pitcher through here. Just need Huebner to get right going into the postseason and see if she can work herself out of a big problem here in the first. Bases loaded, none out. And here's Annalie Adams. Adams is a 180 hitter in league play. She thought she homered here the other night, but Jayla Lassiter had other ideas.
What a play.
It made it was top 7. It was number 7 on the Sports Center's top 10. And Lassiter doesn't make that play. It's a 3-2 game, and anything can happen in the 6th inning.
And she, no doubt, stole a home run from her.
Right-handed bat, as the rest of them are in the order. That one's low and away, ball 1.
And you see the pin for LSU already getting warmed up. It's got to be a mental thing now also. Of course, the scouting report is out. Make sure we're not chasing bad pitches.
0-1-0. That's a strike right through the middle, and it is 1-1 at 69 miles an hour. Now, again, anybody with the bat is dangerous. However, Auburn, throughout their conference season, has proven you can shut them down. Here's the 1-1.
Which is walking batters is the very last thing you want to do.
Well, that one just off the outside corner, and it's 2-1. And unfortunately, Huebner, as many pitchers do, when she's not getting the borderline calls, it can be a little frustrating.
And if she can't get the borderline calls, she might be in a little bit of trouble.
2-1 through a changeup and a good one. Got a swing and a foul, and it's 2-2.
And that's the first changeup we've seen.
And Adams, it was a good enough pitch. Adams took a cut at it. She's got some power, 6 homers, 8 doubles, 273 overall, but again, sub 200 in league play. Here's the 2-2, down and away, and a huge pitch coming now for Huebner. Full count, bases loaded, none out. Just underway, top of the first inning. Needs a strike. Here's the full count offering. Chopper, foul. That was another changeup and a good one. It would have been a strike. It was in the zone. And the batter way out in front.
Of course, the Tiger infield is pulled in for the play at the plate.
Again, the 3-2. Line drive caught by third baseman Hodge. No double play to be had, but an out recorded. There's one down.
Ball hit hard, though, but at Hodge.
And fortunately for Auburn, Shaw was standing right by the bag.
And all base runners were pretty smart about it. That could have been a double play easily.
And the ball was hit so hard, nobody was far off the base. So 1 out. Here is Womack, center fielder, who had a hit here the other night. Right-handed bat, up and in, ball 1. Womack, 224 in league play, 222 over her last 17.
At least it gives you a chance to defend the play, but not a good sign both times that the batters have put the bat on the ball, they barreled it up.
Here's the 1-0 strike right
That's
in
the
there.
best pitch she's thrown so far besides those changeups.
67 miles an hour, got all of the plate. It's 1-1. Though she has 1 out on her way to getting out of this. Here's the 1-1 to Womack. High pop-up foul back, and it's 1-2. That was a changeup that was kind of up in the zone, but she, again, was off balance. So Huebner going to the changeup a little more frequently than normal. That seems to be a pitch she can throw for a strike, but you got to be careful with it. Right-handed bat, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got her up above the zone, and there's 2 down.
Wow, if LSU gets out of this inning, what a win for them. But what a backbreaker for Auburn if they don't score with the bases loaded and nobody out.
And it'll be Rodriguez, the DP. 1 for 9 last weekend. That one was rising up out of the zone. Womack chased it.
But the key to that is she's ahead in the count, so she can throw the big movement.
Rodriguez had a hit the other night, Thursday night. 158 in league play. First pitch, up and in, ball 1.
Good job by Bergeron right there being a true backstop.
Yeah, they
You never know what you're going to get.
pretty well known that Heavner is the toughest LSU pitcher to catch because their stuff can go a lot of places. Here's the 1-0. Strike called inside corner 69 on the inner half, and it's 1-1.
That changeup might have set up everything else. How did it calm down a little bit?
2 outs, bases loaded. The 1-1. Pop up to right. It's in foul territory. Can Franklin get to it? She can. She's got it. And the inning is over. And Heavner loaded him up and then set him down. Ashlyn Mowry out of the dugout with the bubble machine. That is bubble machine worthy right there. No runs. They leave 3. The Tigers will bat in a scoreless game when we come back on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Innings, 8 hits and 6 runs. Only 1 was earned. She walked 5 and struck out 5, but her numbers for the season are very high, and Jayla Lassiter will try to extend her hitting streak as she steps in.
Her best pitch is drop. She'll follow up with change, fastball, and a curve.
Well, down and in, but I think Lassiter did go around, says the first base umpire. And the count is 0-1. Lassiter, a 9-game hitting streak. She's hitting .484 over the course of that hitting streak.
You're right about Hendon's.
That one's down and in to 1-1.
49.2 innings pitched, but given up 70 hits.
That is a whole lot.
Oh, yeah.
And in SEC play, I'll give you those numbers in a second. Lefty pitcher, the 1-1, down and away.
It's a changeup that she leaves short.
Now, watch the shortstop. Their shortstop, I'll give you the whole defense, but Hastings is way over by the third baseman. Like, they will not let Lassiter pull one through the hole, but she's got a acre up the middle.
Hastings at shortstop. That brings back a memory.
It does. When I write that down on the card. Up and in, ball 3. Stephanie Hastings, Coach Gerard's first shortstop. That was a good one to inherit when you got here,
wow.
wasn't it?
What a ball player. Just knew the game.
This is us talking about old stuff. So stay with us.
That's why you have me here.
3-1 to Lassiter. And the pitch. Chopper up the middle. Wide open. Why not? Base hit. 10-game hitting streak.
You and I could have run that out.
Yeah, that was too obvious. And Lassiter can use the whole field.
Good point. Good point. Too many hitters just try to pull the ball. Talk about using the entire field.
Like, she didn't need to get much of it. She just needed to put it in play, and it bounded up the middle.
There's no one in the area code right there.
So Sierra Daniel will bat. Daniel on Thursday night was 1 for 4. She's got exactly 1 hit, 6 of her last 7 games. She may try small ball. Nope, going to take, and it's a strike over the outside corner at 65. That might be about as hard as Herndon's going to throw. Herndon in league play, 5.50 ERA.
Auburn Tigers have thrown out 4 base runners.
Line drive, base hit into right field.
We'll go to third.
Yep, Lassiter around second. Will easily go to third. And on the throw that gets away in the infield, Daniel's going to go to an unoccupied second base. So Auburn had 3 errors here Thursday night. A misplay on that one gives Daniel the extra base. And Daniel just kind of got on top of that one and pulled it into right. And the Tigers are in business with a couple of base hits, and probably an error has to be charged somewhere on that.
Yeah, you've got to hit your cutoff on that, but LSU is such an excellent base running team. No hesitation for Daniel right there, so the Tigers have 2 runners in scored position
and
now.
Kylie Edwards takes it down and in, ball 1. Now, the guy you normally work with, Lynn Rollins, would say of Kylie Edwards, she is hotter than a red ant on a fever blister.
That's it. That's one of them.
Heard him say that before. That applies to Kylie. Last 23 games, 427. Righty bat. Down and in strike on a curve, and it's inside corner is working. That's the one Herndon wants, and these have been kind of close. They've been right on the inner edge.
Definitely a pitcher's pitch, but a good take by Edwards.
They are also plugging up the left side against Edwards. So she's got room up the middle. Ground ball to third. It's off the third baseman's glove. Throw home is not going to be in time. The throw gets by. Second run's going to score. Edwards is still going to second, and it's 2-0 LSU. So it was a hard grounder. Robach got a glove on it, knocked it into foul territory. Lassiter The only play Roebuck had was to try to come home. She wasn't going to get an out at first, and then her throw home got away, and that allowed the second runner, Daniel, to score. That'll probably have to go down as a base hit for Edwards, and then another error. The catcher probably should have at least caught that. But Auburn, after that top of the first, is kind of falling apart on defense. Probably going to see another error charged as well, but it's 2-0 LSU.
It's supposed to be a simple game, Patrick. You're supposed to catch the ball, throw the ball, catch the ball, and Auburn did one of the three in that one.
So it is 2-0 LSU, and Alex Franklin will be the batter.
Let's see if they're going to give him an error. Yep, 2 errors so far in this first inning.
Yep, so Kylie does get a single. She does get an RBI. And so, again, that stretch of 23 games I've been talking about, she's got now 27 runs batted in.
And she hit the ball exactly where Auburn wanted her to hit it, but just didn't make the play.
And she hit it hard.
Yes, she did.
So here's Franklin. Runner at second. Franklin has been good at driving in runs. She had one Thursday night. Slow breaking pitch at 50 miles an hour. Strike one is called.
I've said this on our other broadcasts. I love Alex Franklin. I love the way she plays the game. She runs up there for her at-bat like she's so ready.
Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Tied her up, down and in.
Tip your hat right there to the pitcher. Awesome pitch.
Yep, that was way down and in, but it's got some pretty sharp movement. Now, again, the shortstop Hastings taking away that third base side hole. There is plenty of room up the middle. Franklin can hit it there.
About 4 Mack trucks up the middle.
All right, down and in did not go for that one, and it's 1-2. Right? Now, I guess the feeling is if she's going to throw it down and in, the tendency is that she's going to pull it.
That's a giant hole, though, up the middle. I'm sorry.
LSU.
Franklin can go with the pitch also, but
Grounded it to third. Third baseman cuts it off, throws the first. So they got what they were looking for that time. Threw it down and in, and Franklin could do nothing but pull it to the left side. And Roebuck looked Edwards back to second base. And here's Tori Edwards. Has had a big run. She was 0 for 3 the other night, but is still hitting the ball very well overall right now, 281. Check swing, pulls that one foul. So their defense has got Roebuck at third, Hastings at short, Wilson at second, Adams first, Ratliff catching, Shaw left, Womack center, and Michaela Walker in right. 2-0 LSU, a couple of errors in the inning, and 3 LSU hits. And Herndon, the lefty, brings the 0-1. Trying to get it way inside, and that's where it went, way inside. It's 1-1. Well, last 7 games, LSU batting .327. They've had at least 7 hits in 6 of those games, so the offense kind of coming around here late. 1-1, inside again. It's 2 balls and a strike.
Tigers had a little bit of a rough start, but they're finishing strong.
Yeah, last year it was tough to finish strong because you finished at A&M, at Texas, home Florida, at Arkansas. That was as brutal of a stretch as you could come up with. The 2-1, that bounce. I don't think they want any part of Tori Edwards here. You had an old axiom, don't let the best player on the other team beat you. LSU's got a lot of good players right now, but they don't want to let Edwards hit one to the moon here.
This defensive alignment is it's interesting.
If Edwards
Wilson is almost on top of the bag at second.
And Edwards will take it down and in, ball 4. So Edwards has been taking her walks lately as well. That is 16 in the last 17 games. And here's Macy Bergeron, who also is hitting much better here down the stretch. She was 0 for 2, but did draw a walk Thursday night.
Of course, Macy is one of the 4 seniors on this team.
And the only 4-year player, which I think is going to become a little bit, I don't want to say a dying breed, but something less common to have a player stay 4 years. Off the end of the bat, foul, tried to hit it through the right side.
Talk about the switch to the left side.
Yeah, the way they played her the other night, basically the same. Wilson, the second baseman, is going to be by the second base bag. Tigers have first and second, one out. The first baseman is well off the bag, so there's a lot of room.
Kind of moving over now.
Wilson's moving back to a normal spot now. Bergeron takes it down and in, 1-1.
You know, I'd like to see the percentages of the shift really working. Talk about old school.
Well, those are some deep analytics there. I feel like it does, but sometimes, but it's more obvious when it doesn't.
Exactly. It's glaring.
1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch to Bergeron, low. 51-mile-an-hour changeup. It's 2-1.
I think that foul ball over to the right side changed the Auburn coach's minds on that shift. We're back to normal in the infield.
Yeah, LSU's got enough batters who can take what you give them. Here's the 2-1. Line drive, fair ball down the left field line. It's headed into the corner. Kylie Edwards is going to score. Tori Edwards not far from behind. She's coming home as well. A 2-run double for Bergeron and a 4 spot for LSU here in the first. That ball was rocketed at 77 miles an hour down the line.
It was a laser down the left field line.
And when Bergeron's going right, she's hitting a lot of those.
And he couldn't have hugged the line better than that.
And then it was hit so hard it kind of hooked away from the left fielder, and that allowed both runs to score.
And we are still in the first inning with 1 out, and the Tigers have scored 4 runs on 4 hits.
And here's Char Loren's floater for a strike at 50 miles an hour.
Good-looking changeup.
You can almost read the label on the ball. It's coming in so slow. Well, we told you Herndon had a batting average against well over 300, and the Tigers have put 4 hits on the board in this inning.
And we're back to the shift on the left side.
Lorenz takes it low. The change up. Now, the second baseman is to the left of second base. They have put up a picket fence on the left side. And we do not see Lorenz go opposite field a ton, but they are inviting it here if she can do it. The 1-1. Ground ball, base hit in the left hit. She still hit it so hard. Now going to third and stopping is Bergeron, but when you hit it 74 off the bat, you got a chance to find a hole, and LSU is just feasting on Herndon here.
3 defenders on the left side, and she still finds a hole, but you're right. The velo off the bat gets through the infield quick.
She put it, the shortstop had the play on it, but
couldn't glove it.
The infield is in, and here is Jada Phillips getting just her second start. Boy, the crowd is enthused about Jada. Floating ball is low. Remember when Bergeron was out with an injury, Phillips had to come in as an emergency catcher in the 7th inning of a game. Then she started a game and got a base hit, her first of her career. She's getting a chance to start here and has a chance to drive in some runs. Counts 1-0. Strike inside corner. Now Jada for the season is 2 for 7 with an RBI. And LSU with 4, and hopefully not done yet. Infield is pretty much in. There is room again up the middle. 1-1, swing and a foul way out in front of 50 miles an hour on a changeup. That's 1-2. I believe Lorenz was in motion.
She was. I was going to say, I don't think they're going to stay too long with the first and third situation. They're going to send the runner.
And Auburn has allowed 28 for 28 steals against them in SEC play. You can run on this team. LSU hadn't needed to. Here's the 1-2 to Phillips. I think she went around. I think she went around. Oh, the third base umpire said she didn't. I think LSU might have got a break on that.
Not much going right for the Auburn Tigers.
I thought she maybe went around on
close.
The changeup.
And usually it's always, yes, a strike.
Here's the 2-2. Little roller. Foul ball off of her foot. Yeah, it was back to the circle. Herndon threw to first, which would have been an interesting decision on that play, but it was clearly off Jada's foot. But Phillips, the kind of kid you need on your team. Doesn't play a ton. Bullpen catcher type, but when she plays, everybody's excited. We'll see if she can do something here. The 2-2 reaches forward, lines it over first for a base hit. It's going to score a run and put runners at the corners, and Jada Phillips has driven in a run to make it 5-0. You don't have to hit it hard. You just got to hit it where they ain't, as she hit a little looper over first to get the run in.
Ball just has to have eyes, and I'm surprised nobody from the Auburn coaching staff hasn't come out yet and try to delay the game, make a switch, calm everybody down.
Now 5 runs have scored, and the Tigers have runners at the corners, and there have been no visits yet. Here's Avery Hodge, the left-handed batting shortstop. Shows bunt. It's on. Runner's going to...
Squeeze.
They said she fouled it off of her foot. Now, that was going to work because they put the squeeze on, and Lorenz was coming, and the ball was fair, but the home plate umpire accurately looks like said it was off of... Hodge bunted off of her foot, and it rolled fair.
It's like Herndon's just going to stay out there. It is the first inning.
Here's the 0-1. Slow changeup is low, and it's 1-1. Now, their best pitcher is Ella Harrison, and they are no doubt saving her, they will absolutely, they need a win today, and we will definitely see her in game 2 of this doubleheader. 1-1. Chopper left side into left field for a base hit. That will score a run. Left fielder dropped the ball, but nobody will advance. It is 6-0 LSU, and the Tigers' first trip through the order pick up 7 hits as Hodge just slapped it into left. And Lorenz scored, Phillips to second, and I think we're going to have a pitching change. We're going to take a 90-second pitching change timeout. LSU 6, Auburn nothing. Bottom of the first here on the LSU Sports Radio Network. She will face the top of the LSU order, Jayla Lassiter, and a strike called. She was working the Tigers inside, getting them to hit some weak stuff.
Best pitch will be her changeup, then her curve, and then, as you said, she's going to throw her fastball inside to the righties.
Lassiter's already got a hit and scored a run in this inning. She hits a line drive to left. Left fielder goes back. It's off of her glove, and it's going to the fence. Rounding third, headed home is Phillips. Rounding third, headed home is Hodge. They have both scored. LSU has put up a snowman in the first inning. It is 8-0. Lassiter drilled that ball. And Shaw went back. I think she was stunned as to how hard it was hit.
That's the toughest play for our left fielder to make right at her. But what was the velo on that hit?
72 miles an hour. And that should go down as a double, so Lassiter 2 for 2 in the first inning. Here's Sierra Daniel.
Patrick, we have a run rule already.
8-0. LSU has come out firing. Sierra Daniel has a hit in the inning. She takes it low, ball 1. The only out was a Franklin ground out to third.
And that ball was hit hard.
It was. Daniel will take it low. Daniel singled and scored. Lassiter did get credit for that double, 2 RBI. And that is her 11th double of the season. That leads the team. And it's been a big first inning for Lassiter. Here's the 2-0. Chopper up the middle. It's going into center field for a base hit. Lassiter's going to get a stop sign, but on the throw through, Daniel's going to head to second, so runner second and third. I think Sandy Moten made the right call there because Womack charged and I think had a good play at home.
I'm glad you said that. I think Sandra Moten has done a fabulous job at third base this year. Beth Torina in the dugout, put Sandra at third. Never had coached third before, I don't believe, but has everything that I've seen has been right on.
And Kylie Edwards can really further the damage. Second and third, still 1 out. Takes it for a strike over the inside corner. 7 straight have reached. 11 of 12 have reached. It's 8-0 on 9 hits.
LSU Tigers can do no wrong. Auburn Tigers, not much going right for them at all.
The 0-1 check swing. It was up and in, but it hit the bat.
Yeah, she was protecting herself on that pitch.
Remember the top of this inning when Auburn loaded the bases with none out?
Yep.
And it has taken a turn very much for the worse. Heavener got out of it with no runs, and LSU has put up 8.
Well, I said it was a backbreaker for Auburn, but I had no clue this was going to happen. Demoralizing.
0-2, Edwards swings
Got her on
and
the
misses.
rise.
Edwards does not strike out much. A little frustrated with herself on that. She took the bait and went for it. There are 2 down. That's only her 9th strikeout of the year, and she has played in all 52 games.
Threw that rise ball at 64 miles an hour, but had good spin.
Now here's Franklin, who grounded to third as one of the only outs of the inning. The pitch is low, and it's 1-0. So Franklin trying to avoid being 2 of the 3 outs here.
Yeah, you know, you go in the dugout, and you don't want to be the one that's made the out in this onslaught in the first inning. Got no clue about records in the runs scored in the first inning, but
Strike called, and it is 1-1. That one right in the middle of the plate.
this is a lot.
8-0 LSU, bottom of the first. Game 2 will be at 4 o'clock later today.
Patrick, I've never heard that's a snowman, and it makes sense. Now I get it, but I've never heard it before.
The 0-1 is a pop-up straight back. Catcher finally found it, but then got a glove on it behind the plate and couldn't get it. Well, I'll tell you where it comes from. It comes from, and I know this too well, unfortunately, it comes from the golf course. When you get an 8. Now, 8's not a good score on the golf course. They call it a snowman.
It's my score. It's my score.
Now, the catcher, Ratliff, didn't see it until the very end and then got back running to the backstop, got a glove on it, but couldn't quite bring it in.
For all you little girls out there, everybody's got to be yelling 2-2-2-2 so that the catcher knows it's right behind her.
1-2 up and in to Franklin, and it's 2-2.
You yell 1 if it's on first base side, 2 for the catcher, 3 for the third base.
Defense fairly normal, although there is room up the middle. Here's the 2-2. Tracked it very nicely, down and away, 3-2. Franklin, so you can watch her track the ball
all the way into the glove.
Local kid made good from Sanamaw right down the road.
About a 20-30 minute drive. Depends on traffic.
History of good softball at that school. Here's the 3-2. Popped up foul. That's going to go back and should hit the net, and it will.
A lot of great softball players out of that school. Not all, not just for LSU, for programs all over the country.
Hancock Whitney is the official bank of LSU Athletics. Learn more at HancockWhitney.com/LSU. Tigers second and third with 2 out in the bottom of the first. And the 3-2, Franklin hits a pop-up toward the circle. Pitcher's going to bail out, let the first baseman come in and grab it. Adams has it, but 13 Tigers bat, 8 of them score. We go to the second. It's 8-0 LSU on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
When you shop Albertsons online or in our app, you can count on
Gerard with us here, James Mays in the Capital One studio. Jaden Heavener, it's been quite a turnaround from where we were a little while ago. Right-handed batter to start is Haven Roebuck, the third baseman who takes ball 1 inside. Heavener got out of bases loaded, none out. Then her team got her 8 runs. So we'll see if she can throw some strikes, get some outs. Roebuck, right-handed bat, strike inside corner. And it is 1-1. Roebuck was 0 for 3 Thursday night. And just 111 her last 6 games. 1-1.
Well, there are no corners on that plate.
Oh, that one got a lot of the plate, it looked like. Umpire must have thought it was high. It was clearly over the plate. The count's 2-1. Pitches have a lot of movement. 2-1. Ground ball to short, backhanded by Kylie Edwards. Buggy whips at the first in time, and there's 1 down.
She is fun to watch.
You wouldn't teach her to throw that way, but
no way. But,
but it
man,
worked.
does it ever work? All sidearm delivery, and it's effortless.
Now, she had a play the other night deep in the hole where she went overhand with it.
You're kidding.
And it looked,
I've never seen it.
It looked different.
Whereas Hodge has that overhand quick throw, you know, like a bullet.
Catcher Ratliff takes a strike.
Edwards just has that sidearm delivery that's about as nonchalant as you'll find. But gosh, can she play that position?
Ratliff 170 in SEC play, 0 for 2 Thursday night. Here's the 0-1. Pop up to center field. Going to drift to Laster, who barely has to move. She's got it behind the big Tiger head. It's 2 down. Now, the wind's blowing out today. We never see that in May because it's usually hot and the wind's blowing out of the south. But with the rare cold front that came through, we've got the north wind going and it is blowing straight out to right center field. You can see the flags if you're watching us.
Pitcher's ballpark, no question.
Normally. But today might be in favor of the hitters. They can get one up.
Exactly.
Daigle Wilson takes a pitch down and in, ball 1. Wilson, the 9-hole hitter, had a base hit Thursday night. Auburn had 4 hits. That was it for them on Thursday. Wilson's last 17 games hitting just 111.
Did he get her or did he get the bat?
I thought it got the bat. Umpire points to first base, says no, it got her. And not much of an argument on the LSU side, so that must be what happened. No, even are trying to work up and in and got a little bit of the batter. So a hit batsman for Wilson. Top of the order, Shaw, who drew a walk her first time. Left-handed bat, a little bit high, ball 1. Well, Wilson hit for just the 3rd time this year.
What a backbreaker for Auburn. Nobody out, bases loaded, don't score a run, and then give up 8 in the bottom of the inning.
1-0 to the lefty, shows bunt, and that one fouled off of her in the box, so it'll be 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, this game will change on you in a hurry.
And we have 2 today. You have 2 today. The team has 2 today. I have 1.
1 ball and 1 strike, 2 down. The pitch missed a little bit away. Now, Heavener's misses in this inning have been close.
And you can tell she gets pretty frustrated.
Yeah.
You see those shoulders drop. I mean, it's the strike zone throughout the country.
2-1.
It's not the strike zone in the rule book.
And the count is 3-1. 2 down, runner at first here in the 2nd inning. 8-0. LSU has the lead.
Love bug season.
They found their way into the booth. Strike called there, right in the middle of the plate. It's 3-2. Shaw looked to be taking that one all the way. And the 3-2. Fouled away. Now, Shaw, like a lot of their batters, big numbers overall, but low numbers in SEC play. Overall average 321, SEC average 212.
Usually the case.
Yeah, they have really had their struggles in league play. 3-2 coming. Strike 3 called outside corner. Shaw knew it. And Heavener, kind of a big sigh of relief as she leaves the circle. Gets her 2nd strikeout. Auburn gets a hit. Batsman leave the runner. We go bottom 2. It's LSU 8, Auburn nothing on the LSU Sports Radio Network. One of the runs. She will bat. She, Bajeron, and Lorenz. Now, they pitched around Edwards. At the time, there was a runner at 2nd and a couple of runs that already scored. And Torrey took her walk and then later lumbered home on a hit. And the pitch up and away, ball 1. So Butler came on, gave up a double and a single, but then got, and that left 2nd and 3rd. But she got a strikeout and a pop-up to end the inning to keep LSU away from double figures.
Edwards, the freshman All-American.
1-0. Not sure where that one missed.
Yeah, he doesn't like the outside corner.
No, the strike zone appears to be smallish today. Counts 2-0 to Edwards.
Although Auburn's catcher just said it was outside. Rattler.
2-0. That one's definitely low, and it's ball 3.
And Edwards will take that walk.
Now, the crowd's starting to kind of grow a little bit. Good day to be out on the Tiger Terrace behind left and in the bleachers.
And there's another game after this one, so.
Yep, separate game. We'll clear the stadium and bring in the 4 o'clock crowd for that game.
2 for the price. Well, I shouldn't say that.
Pitch is down and in, and it's another walk for Tori Edwards. No, 2 for the price of 2.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think it is a separate deal. We're going to clear them out. And the 4 o'clock game, for those wondering, we had to kind of stay at 4 o'clock because that is the SEC network window. That's when it was originally scheduled for, so they wanted to keep that intact. And we wanted to start this one early enough to make sure, hopefully, that we're done before we get to that game. Bergeron hit a 2-run double hard to left her last time. And a changeup is a strike, and it's 0-1.
Edwards with that big lead at first base. All of the Tigers can run. Doesn't mean they will, but they can run.
Here's the 0-1. Line drive hit hard, but it's going to hook foul down the left field line. Well, again, on paper, this is a team that you can run on. They have given up 28 in league play and well over 50 overall, but LSU really hadn't had a chance. They up 8-0. You're probably not going to run a lot.
No.
And the other night, LSU did get up 3-0 and then didn't get a lot of base runners after that. So
Tigers ran a lot early on in the season.
Have not had a steal in the last 11 games.
Wow.
Oh, pitch. Umpire flinched. I thought he was going to get ready to ring that one up.
And finally, a coach coming out saying, where exactly do you want it?
That pitch looked pretty good.
You're not supposed to argue balls and strikes, but guess what? Everyone does.
Here's the 1-2. That one is low as well. Yep. That one a little bit lower than the last one. Bergeron patient here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first is Edwards. 8-0 LSU, bottom of the second. Game 1, the doubleheader. Kind of give you the bigger picture on the SEC and the SEC tournament coming up here in a little bit. Here's the 2-2. Chopper slowly to the left side. Shortstop, the second for 1. Relay will not be in time, but Hastings got the force on the shovel to Wilson. So Butler stayed down in the zone and finally got Bergeron to swing at one, and she chops out to short. And that'll bring up Char Lorenz. We know that LSU and Georgia will play in the SEC tournament on Wednesday as the 8-9 game.
Do we know what time?
Well,
shouldn't have asked you that.
Well, I'll tell you why in a second. Lorenz singled and scored. Strike call.
A great-looking change up there at 55 miles an hour. The look and the sell of the pitch is on the money.
Normally, the 8-9 winner plays the 1 seed in the following game. And normally the way these are bracketed, the number 1 seed plays at the first of the day, early in the day. Pop up back out of play, and the count's 0-2. But I saw a bracket released the other day that had the 1 seed and the 4 seed playing in the evening session. I'm going to wait until they put the official bracket out. But we do know.
Do they get to choose?
Well, Kentucky did. They've already made their choice. We know they're playing when they're playing Tuesday, and if they win, when they would play Wednesday, since they're the host. Pitch down and away. It's 1-2.
They're probably the only ones that can pick.
Yes, and that only accounts for the first day.
Yeah.
So, don't want to say, because I believe 2 things are possible. But we do know that LSU and Georgia will play. It'll be 8 versus 9. Georgia got a win over Florida today, which is a big win for them. A little pop-up to third. Third baseman Roebuck will catch it, and there's 2 down. This is what Butler was doing to LSU the other night. She was jamming the right-handed batters and getting some weak contact.
Location.
Georgia kind of on the edge, borderline of hosting a regional. They have done themselves a good favor. They beat Florida today 9-1 and take 2 out of 3 in the series. So Georgia, it looks like, has vaulted themselves up to where they should be a host for NCAA.
Did it again.
Yep, got Phillips to ground to second, throw to first in time. That'll end the inning. So the leadoff walk, no damage. We'll go to the third, still 8-0 LSU on the LSU Sports Radio Network. and weather permitting, because the forecast looks very bad right now. So hopefully that'll change over the next few days. Here's Hastings, the shortstop. She singled against Heavner in the first inning. She takes ball one up and away. So Heavner has thrown now 43 pitches. Here's the 1-0. That's a strike at the knees, 66 miles an hour. So 44 pitches, 23 strikes, 20 balls. So still a little too many out of the zone, but he's gotten some outs, and that's the main thing. And ready to bring the 1-1 now. Lefty on lefty. High, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
That first game, Auburn had 6 hits. No, I'm sorry. They had 4 hits. 4 hits. And they have 1 today.
2-1. Pop foul back. You know, Hastings had quite the weekend last weekend. She had a 7 RBI game and a 4 RBI game. 3 doubles and a homer. She kept coming up with the bases loaded. Ole Miss pitchers, as we saw here a couple of weeks ago, walked a ton of batters, and Hastings made them pay for it.
Hastings at shortstop just makes my heart warm.
Stephanie Hastings getting another mention. There's a pop-up. Right side out on the grass. Sierra Daniel will get it. Alex Franklin was charging in and kind of bailed at the last minute. Sierra said, I got it.
Good communication there. Everybody in the stands is always saying, call it, call it. Well, they are.
They are. Just
They're both calling it.
You get a little nervous when you see that right fielder charging, but they had it under control. And here's Michaela Walker, who was hit by a pitch, and that loaded the bases in the first inning. A little bit outside, ball 1.
Of course, Michaela Walker knows this field well.
Yeah, played 3 years here. Was a starter at times. 1-0. Fly ball to right. Drifting back is Franklin toward the track. She'll grab it. There's 2 down. So Heavner getting a bunch of fly ball outs, which is pretty typical.
Yeah, you're not going to see a lot of ground balls. She's not a drop ball pitcher.
Now, Michaela Walker played here 3 years, 187 career average, couple homers, 14 runs batted in. And her senior year has been her biggest at Auburn. Her overall number is 302 with 11 homers and 37 RBI. Here's Annalie Adams, who takes it low, ball 1. Right-handed bat. 8-0 LSU, top of the 3rd. So I mentioned Georgia beat Florida 9-1. Georgia wins 2 out of 3. Arkansas looking for a sweep at Texas, but Texas is up 3-1 in the 5th. Pitches away, and it's 2-0. Middle of the 4th, Missouri, another team. Like Auburn, they got to get the 500. They're 27-28, and they are trailing Tennessee 2-1 in the 4th. Tennessee looking for the sweep.
Yeah, it's a tough
pitch up and away.
Opponent to draw.
Yeah.
If you're trying to make it into a tournament.
South Carolina and Alabama will play a little later. Alabama looking for that sweep. Mississippi State and Ole Miss also playing later. They have split. Strike called inside corner. Oh, it's 3-1 now to Adams. And the championship has not been determined yet. Oklahoma's got a little work left. They are at Texas A&M for 2 today.
I think that game was halted yesterday, right?
Pop up to right. It's hit very high. It's going to drift out to Franklin, who's going to catch it, and that'll end the inning. They actually resumed the Thursday night game Friday, and Texas A&M came back and won, and then they didn't play last night. We'll tell you that scenario when we come back. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, 8-0 LSU on the LSU Sports Radio Network. No, Oklahoma, if they win the 2 games today, they will be the champion. If they split and Alabama wins, then there will be a tie at the top.
Race to the top.
It is still a little bit in doubt at the top of the league. And if A&M happens to sweep, you could have 3 teams end up at the top. So, still some things to be determined. Avery Hodge singled and drove in a run her first time. Takes it low. Baseball leading 2-1. They started a little bit after we did there at the box. They've got 2 games today over South Carolina. Hodge now up over 200. She's at 202 as she's been hitting well here lately.
Of course, she made the switch from shortstop to 3rd this year.
And has done so.
Has done a
very
Good
well.
job.
Yeah.
Cat quick over there on bunts and good hands.
Good arm as well.
Oh, yeah.
Hit 1-1, ran up, and will take it high. It's 2-1. So she singled, drove in a run, scored a run. LSU found all the holes in the first inning. They were hitting the ball where Auburn wasn't.
And Auburn didn't help themselves with 2 errors. It's 5 already in 2 games.
2-1's a little bit low, and it's 3-1. And Butler, meanwhile, has pitched 4 scoreless innings.
You said she's been very effective jamming hitters.
Actually, yeah, even added that 4 2/3 scoreless innings in her 2 outings this weekend. 3-1. That was a strike. And it's 3-2.
Here's another one, 26 innings pitch with 35 hits. Teams are hitting .310 against her.
Here's the 3-2. Chopper, third baseman goes up high to get it, sets, throws, and got her. A good play by Roebuck. Had to go as far up the ladder as she could get. And Hodge tried to bounce it over, and Roebuck made a good play there, 1 down.
In the first inning, that's probably over a hit.
The way the first inning went, you're probably right.
Everything was going the LSU Tigers' way.
Well, Lassiter, who was just on quite a run herself, 2 for 2, 2 runs batted in, scored a run. And a smash into left center field for a base hit. I mean, she clobbered that ball at 80 off. That's Tori Edwards level stuff right there, 80 off the bat. Lassiter is 3 for 3.
I thought she was a pretty good pickup last year. This year, she has been fantastic.
That ball was dropping a little bit, and like both times she has faced Butler in this game, she has attacked the first pitch. And attack might even be underselling it. She has 3 hits in a game for the 5th time this year.
And that might be the key against Butler. Don't get jammed, swing early.
Here's Sierra Daniel. Strike called somewhere near the outside corner. It's 0-1.
In the vicinity.
Daniel 2 for 2. So LSU's top 2 hitters, a solid 5 for 5. Can't get much better than that. Here's the 1-1. Swings and misses there, and it's 0-2. That one kind of looked like it was in the same spot away. So Lassiter in her last 21 games, I'm going to add her 3 for 3 in there today.
You are the math guy.
I need a calculator for this one. That's how good the numbers are. So her last 21 games now up to the moment, she is hitting .438. So 21 games, .438 hitter. Her on-base average up around .520.
And stealing runs from the other team.
Yes. And yes, she was a +2 the other night on saving a 2-run homer. Here's the 0-2 to Daniel, up and away, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. So last start update, she's now got a 10-game hitting streak. She's hitting over .500 last 10 games. 18 for 34. She has scored a run in 17 of the 21 games in her current run. 1-2, down and away, and it's 2-2.
So she's sleeping very good at night.
Yeah, she comes to the ballpark expecting to get and do some damage. Had a big series against her old team, Ole Miss, a couple weekends ago. Here's the 2-2 to Daniel. Up and in, ball 3. 8-0 LSU, bottom of the 3rd. They got all of them in the 1st. Just 1 out of the inning. Runner at first base. Count is full. And the pitch to Daniel. Chopper up the middle. It'll find its way into center field. Daniel has got 3 hits. Lassiter rounded a little too far, but she got back. So 6 for 6 at the top. Sierra Daniel with 3 hits. And Kylie Edwards will bat. She's 1 for 2 with an RBI. That one had the eyes right back up the middle. Daniel had a 4-hit game at Missouri. He's had a couple of 3-hit games this year as well.
I thought Lassiter was going to try and go to third. That was going to be interesting.
Yeah,
but
I think
It was a good choice to go back to second.
And there is a meeting in the circle, just kind of players, no coaches involved. FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, proud to be LSU's championship health partner. Together, LSU and Our Lady of the Lake Health are champions for Louisiana. Together we roar. Learn more at olrmc.com/LSU. Milena Tambora is in the bullpen. She's number 24. We see her throwing on the monitor. And here is Edwards. Struck out against Butler back in the first inning. Right-handed bat. Takes that one very high, ball one. Now, LSU is at that 8-run threshold, but you'd like to add a little bit to it, give yourself a little room to try to finish this in 5. 11 hits now for LSU. And Riker Chasson will make his first appearance to the circle. Hard to miss Riker and the Auburn Tigers. He's wearing, their staff wearing those bright orange jacket. He's got orange shoes as well.
Of course, Riker was on the staff here under Beth Torina.
Good people. Riker's a good guy.
Yeah,
Beth
he's a good guy.
Used him and his knowledge and expertise very extensively here. I spent a little time at Ole Miss. Talked to him a little bit after the game Thursday. He's very happy at Auburn. Says it's a good situation. He's enjoying his time there. So, a little quick conversation that was between Riker, the pitcher, and the catcher. And Kylie Edwards, who has been outstanding in these spots lately on the RBIs, gave you the number. She's averaging over an RBI a game over her last 24 and has one today. Now, I think LSU knew they were getting a very good defensive shortstop, and I think her .346 average and 10 homers, maybe even more than were expected. Pitch is high, and it's 2-0. Because those are career marks for Kylie. And she got off to a pretty slow start. But once she got rolling, it has been hard to stop Kylie at the plate.
She's been very impressive all the way around.
Down and in, ball 3. She is from Indiana, from rural Indiana. She is a country girl at heart.
And had a lot of Indiana girls in Tiger history.
3-0. Got a strike call up and in, and it's 3-1. It's actually, and Kylie tried to let everybody know, look, we got good softball up here. You know, you don't hear much about us in Indiana. You don't think softball, but we've got good players. 3-1, pulled, foul just outside the bag at third.
You said farm girl?
Yeah.
Well, good work ethic then.
Yeah, she's a country girl, likes the country music. And says not really the big city, doesn't have the allure to her.
Well, when you're raised that way, that's what you know.
And has enjoyed her time in Baton Rouge. 3-2. Line drive in the shallow left field. Base hit. Going to stop the runner at third. Edwards has 2 hits. The top 3 now, 8 for 9. That is above average. And that one, she didn't get all of it. Was jammed a little bit, but pulled it into shallow left field. So bases loaded. Alex Franklin would like to join the proceedings here. You always got one. She's 0 for 2.
Made 2 outs in 1 inning. Is that correct?
Yep. So she would like to get something going here.
She doesn't want that on her bio anywhere.
Now that one missed, apparently, and it's ball 1. 8-0 LSU would like to add here in the bottom of the third. 12 hits now. All singles except for 2 doubles. Bergeron and Lassiter have doubled, have not hit a home run yet. 1-0. That missed away, and it's 2-0. Even though Auburn's pitchers have kind of had a rough year, they don't give up an inordinate amount of home runs. In 22, no, I say that. Harrison herself has given up 15 in SEC games,
okay,
but the relievers have not. 2-0 to Franklin. That's a strike, and it's 2-1.
But fortunately for Auburn, you wouldn't say the staff is the forte of their team. The hits are pretty glaring that they give up.
Now, Harrison has had a couple of really good games. And that is, I think, what they will certainly be putting their hopes on in game 2 today. The 2-1, fly ball to left. It's way back, and it is a grand slam for Alex Franklin. Enjoying the party, she did indeed. Deep up onto the Tiger Terrace, 250 feet at 72 miles an hour. A granny for Franklin, and it's 12-0 Tigers.
And she goes dancing around the field. She said, no more 0 for 2 for me in one inning. 0 for 2 and 4 RBIs. How about that for a stat line so far?
Well, 0 for 2 in an inning.
In one inning.
That was drilled out of here. There was not much doubt about it when it left the bat.
And we're going to have a pitching change.
Let's take a 90-second pitching change timeout. 12-0 LSU on the LSU Sports Radio Network. To LSU. Let me quickly, while I'm thinking about it, Lassiter, I'm a game behind on her. I forgot to update her hit the other night. She's now on an 11-game hitting streak, not 10. So 11-game hit streak for Lassiter, which is her career long. And the new pitcher is Sydney Guerin for Auburn, S.J. Guerin. She is a lefty. She has been primarily a starter in league play, but she's going to get some relief action here. 12-0 in the third.
Best pitch for her is her curveball.
That one's up and away to Tori Edwards, ball one. That was the second grand slam of the year for LSU, by the way.
I think that was her change.
That was up and away, whatever it was.
Curve, rise, change, fastball.
The other LSU grand slam was inside the park by Tori Edwards in a big moment against Ole Miss a couple weeks ago. Here's the 1-0, very high, and it's ball two.
Another changeup.
Yeah, the Auburn pitchers would not blame them for being a little rattled at this point, because LSU has come out swinging the bats today. Guerin in league play, 4.89 ERA. She's got 2 of their 4 wins. Edwards bunts it. Left-hander will come off the mound, pick it up, and not in time to first. And Tori Edwards has bunted for a base hit.
And I'm pretty sure Tori did that on her own.
Well, I did not have that among things I thought I would see at the ballpark today.
Yeah. Well, you got a lefty on the mound that's got to turn and make that throw. Third base is definitely not expecting you to drop that bunt.
That was a surprise party for them on defense and for us as well. Tori, just another tool in the bag for her. We'll bring up Badger on, who is 1 for 2. Our 2 RBI double. Pop fly to right. Wind's going to carry it a little bit, but Michaela Walker then
she's
lost
having
it.
trouble.
She spun around, it hit her glove, and it will drop, and that's going to put runners at second and third.
That ball was twisting and turning.
Well, the wind is blowing out that way, and it was hit pretty high in the air with a little bit of authority, and Walker got back to the warning track, reached up. I think she might have stumbled a little bit, got a glove on it, and could not make the play. So we're watching it drift back. Yeah, she just staggered at the very end. I don't know if she lost it a little bit, but it's second and third.
I think the wind took it, but if anybody should know Tiger Park, it would be her. But this wind can play some tricks with fly balls.
So here is Lorenz with second and third, one out. 12-0 LSU. Ground ball foul, and it's 0-1, pulled by Lorenz.
It's a steady diet of changeups. That's another one there.
Going to give an error to Walker, and that is the third for Auburn now in the game. Now Lorenz 1 for 2, a single and a pop-up. Bottom of the third inning. Here's the 0-1. That's high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. LSU now 14 hits in the game.
Makes it even tougher for pitchers when you should be getting some outs.
Yep, it's like we're having a hard enough time getting these guys out.
Yep.
Need to make the plays. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out, second and third. Here's the pitch. Lorenz watched a 50-mile-an-hour changeup for a strike, and it's 1-2. Butler, 2 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs. The starter Herndon, a third of an inning, 7 hits and 8 runs.
We had the curve as her go-to pitch, but so far it's been changeups.
1-2, fouled back, and the count will stay at 1-2. Now Herndon, we mentioned her SEC 4.89 ERA, 291 batting average against. She's allowed 8 homers in 34 innings. Only 13 strikeouts in 34 innings, so usually there is contact. And a huge hole right back up the middle for Lorenz, as they have got the left side pinched very tight. 1-2, popped it up, foul, going to go back. The wind's trying to push it back in play, and the third baseman will come make the play.
Nobody at plate.
And Edwards tags up and scores. So the catcher, the third baseman, Robach, went and caught it by the net, and there was nobody guarding home. The pitcher has got to cover that. She didn't. Edwards ever alert. So how about Edwards trip around the bases? She bunts her way on. She goes to third on the 2-base error, and then she tags up on a pop fly to the catcher.
The Tigers
for the third baseman.
The Tigers are meticulously all about base running in practice. If you come here, they've got the clock on you. They're paying attention to every single thing.
And the runner at second went to third, and Jada Phillips will take a strike.
It's a team that has taken ownership of base running. And just a lack of awareness on Auburn's part. Somebody's got to cover home.
Yeah, because the catcher was over there in that vicinity where the third baseman made the catch. But Torrey saw it. Here's the 0-1. Looped up high, 48 miles an hour. It's 1-1. And what that does is save Char Lorenz an at bat. She was about to get a pop out. Now she gets a sac fly. I think so. She helps your teammate out a little bit there. She does not get an 0 for 1 on that at bat.
13 runs on 14 hits.
An 8 and a 5 in this game. 13-0 LSU. Curves down and in. It's 2-1 to Phillips, who got a single in the first. Drove in a run, then grounded out, getting the start at DP today. Here's the 2-1. Fly ball to left. That's hit pretty well. Back, and it is out of here. Jada Phillips has gone deep for the first time in her career, and she will be mobbed at home plate.
You got Tigers jumping over the dugout fence to go congratulate her.
It is 15-0. Jada Phillips goes yard to left field. A 58-mile-an-hour changeup left the bat and went 228 feet. And that was a no-doubter.
Yeah, oh, you're right, off the bat.
And Avery Hodge will bat.
Softball has to look like a beach ball right now to the Tigers.
Well, still got another game today, and you can't save them. It doesn't work that way. You hit it, you hit what's out there.
But sometimes you want to. We'll see what the next game holds. Sometimes you swing the bat like this and come out the next game, and what just happened to the bats?
Hodge will take a strike. Hodge led off the inning, grounding out to third. So Hodge has a chance to make 2 outs in the same inning like Franklin did. I think Jada Phillips just got a curtain call.
Yeah, she did by the...
They were chanting her name behind the dugout, and she popped out and waved to everybody.
You know, that's the family area for the Tigers, so cool.
Pitch is high, and it's 1-1. The kids and the players absolutely love this kid. She's kind of quiet, not out there, but that reaction was not fake when she hit that home run. There is some excitement over that.
Oh, as I said, they were leaping over the fence in the dugout.
1-1. Hodge takes that one high, 49 miles an hour, and it's 2-1. Tigers with an 8 and a 7, and they have 15.
And she's not a local girl. Let's see, Bradenton, Florida. Yeah. Usually, you know, the local girls get that ovation.
Here's the 2-1. That's high, ball 3. Now, this has been something.
Yeah.
Everybody has got a hit. Many have more than one hit. Lassiter's got 3. Daniels got 3. Kylie Edwards 2. Franklin a grand slam. Edwards, Torrey 2 walks and a single. 3-1 is a strike, and it's 3-2. Bajeron a 2-run double. Lorenz a single and then a sac fly. Phillips 3 runs batted in, 2 for 3 and a homer. And Hodge has an RBI hit.
And that's why you have to have a short-term memory when you come up to bat. Franklin makes 2 outs in 1 inning and then gets a grand slam.
Full count to Hodge. Strike 3 called over the outside corner. That will end the inning, so she makes a couple outs in the inning. That's all right. LSU gets 7. We go to the 4th, 15-0 LSU on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Innings for LSU, and Maddox McKee looks to be the left fielder. And Jaden Heavner has an embarrassment of riches as far as run support.
Yep, just throw strikes.
Mania Womack fouls one. She struck out and was the second out of the first inning. Auburn had bases loaded, none out in the first. And then a pop-up, a strikeout, and a foul out got Heavner out of that trouble. And then LSU has poured on runs. Here's the 0-1. Very high, and it's 1-1. Baseball up 5-1 against South Carolina, off in the distance at Alec Bach Stadium. Now, the wind is blowing in there today. It's blowing out here. 1-1, pulled, foul outside of third. Count is 1-2. See if we can tell you what else is going on in SEC softball. Texas up on Arkansas 4-1 into the 6th. So Texas trying to get a win there. And Tennessee up 3-2 on Missouri, top of the 6th. Missouri desperately needing a win. 1-2, changeup, swing and a miss. Oh, Heavner has used that pitch a few times today. That one was up in the zone, but Womack couldn't get to it. Then there's 1 out. That is strikeout number 3 for Heavner. Oklahoma, top of the 5th, has a 3-0 lead over Texas A&M in game 1 of that doubleheader. Pitch low and away to Rodriguez, and the count is 1-0. Alabama's up on South Carolina 3-2, bottom of the 3rd. Alabama trying to sweep.
They just scored that go-ahead run.
Here's the 1-0. That's low. Alabama still on the hunt to get a share of the championship if they can win, and Oklahoma loses 1 today. The 2-0. Line drive out into center. That is going to drop for a base hit. So Rodriguez, a 1-out single. Lassiter had ideas about trying to run in and make a dive forward, but that one, she played it well. Wasn't going to get to it. And here is Haven Roebuck, who grounded to short to start the second inning. And we're going to have a pinch runner at first base, it would appear. Looks like number 5, Georgia Lessman, will be the runner for Rodriguez. Game 2 and the regular season finale will take place at 4 o'clock. And we'll be on the air at 3:45 for that. So when you leave us between games, don't go too far.
No, because it's a beautiful day out here at the park.
Yeah, there were some clouds earlier. They are gone. We got enough rain to last for a while last night. And a pinch hitter as well here. It's Milena Lustari. And she takes strike 1. Right-handed bat, swings and misses, and it's 0-2. Melania Lustri appearing for the first time this weekend. Kat Osterman has appeared. She's in the booth next door. She is who will be on television for SEC Network. Swing and a miss on a rise ball way out of the zone. Lustari has struck out on 3 pitches. Well, if they're going to replace you, what you're going to do with the Hall of Fame pitcher over there? Huh?
Oh, okay.
Osterman was pretty good.
Just slightly. Like maybe an out away from winning a national championship with Texas and has some gold medals. And yeah, just like, you know where she was born?
I bet you do.
New Orleans.
Yes, I did know that.
Too bad she wasn't raised there. We might have had a shot at her. Texas girl all the way.
First pitch is outside. Going to have a pinch hitter. It's number 1, Martin, who will pinch hit. Thalia Martin. So they're emptying the bench here a little bit. Talia Martin, right-handed bat. 2 outs, runner at first. And that one missed somewhere, and it's 2-0.
Did you see Heavner's shoulder shrug when she doesn't get a call?
Martin is not bad at an SEC play. She is 0 for 0, has scored a run, probably as a pinch runner if I had to guess. 2-0.
Definitely not the batter you want to walk.
Well, strike zone been a little very, I don't even know the word. It's been a little inconsistent at times. 3-0 here, though. And the pitch.
Not close.
Ball 4.
Not close.
Oh, Martin will get a walk.
And Heavner has to clean off the plate.
And the number 9 hole hitter, Daigle Wilson, will bat. She was hit by a pitch in the second inning.
Second baseman number 4, Daigle Wilson.
Now she'll hit right-handed, 2 runners on, 2 outs, 15-0 LSU in the 4th. Strike 1 called, so she's back in the zone. 9-hole hitter. Where did Osterman end up? She went to high school in Texas, right?
Yeah. Houston.
Swing and a miss on a pitch
Living in the
down
Houston
the lane.
area. Trying to think. Certainly recruited her. Who didn't?
Yeah, you got to put your name in the hat. Here's the 0-2. That one rolls to the plate. Heavner, a little bit of a grin. That one, I think she hit her side with the ball on the way through. And
it happens. You don't clear your hip.
It looked like she was trying to pick up the 7-10 split. That one rolled up there.
Little bowling in your background.
1-2 is a pop-up. Not been listening to Kent Lowe too long. Pop-up to the right side is caught by Sierra Daniel, and that'll end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 15-0 LSU on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Get ready.
The balls. Couple of CNI singles.
Bunt single by Tori Edwards.
Always counts as a hit.
But a lot of barrel to ball action. And ball 1 is inside to Lassiter. LSU's out hit them 15-2. Auburn with 3 errors. But we will start with a clean slate at 4 o'clock in a game that Auburn desperately will need to win. Changeup is high. Again, if this holds, and we kind of expect that it might, Auburn will be 25-26. They need a win. Will need a win in Game 3 today to get back to 500. In which case they would need to go 1-1 at the SEC tournament to finish 500. Fly ball to center. It's hit a long way. Center fielder back in front of the fence, reaches up Womack and grabs it.
Hit it to the deepest part of the field.
216 feet, but unfortunately it's 220 right there. So Lassiter almost hit a homer and almost got her 4th hit. All right, maybe Sierra Daniel will have a little bit better luck. So if Auburn were to lose the second game today, they would be 2 games under. They would need 3 wins in the SEC tournament.
Making the road harder for themselves, no question.
Change up for a strike, and it's 0-1. Yeah, because the thing is, they will be, since they will play on Tuesday, they will be matched up with another lower-seeded team, like a Mississippi State or somebody down at the bottom. A chance they could get a win. That is their only hope, really, to get to 500 for the year, to be eligible. We were talking about it earlier. Their RPI coming in was 32, and that's usually a pretty sure bet that you can get into the tournament, the NCAA tournament, with that.
But you have to be over 500.
Yeah, or at 500. And a win against LSU in one of the 2 games today would probably even bump that up a little bit. So they will be desperately trying to win Game 3 today. Strike called, and it is 1-2 to Sierra Daniel. In fact, it kind of, since we got a minute, so in the standings, Auburn is likely to be the 14 seed, which would have them playing the 11 seed. Ground ball to the left side. Shortstop tries to backhand and can't, and that should be hit number 4 for Sierra Daniel.
Even if she'd have caught that ball, it would have been a tough play to get that out. Daniel runs so well.
Yep, she was kind of shaded toward the bag, so she had to go the opposite direction. That should be hit number 4 for Daniel, her second 4-hit game as a Tiger. Kylie Edwards trying to get a 3rd hit. And Daniel officially is awarded the base hit. Here's the pitch to Kylie. Slow breaking pitch, 50-mile-an-hour strike. So Auburn very likely would be matched up with Missouri in the SEC tournament. So that's winnable. Missouri.
And they're both fighting to get into the other tournament.
Strike inside corner, and it's 0-2. Well, Missouri is going to be in a little bit more of a dire position if they can't rally and beat Tennessee. They're down 3-2 in the bottom of the 6th at last look.
Tough to come back on that pitching staff.
Yeah, and they're already a game under 500. The 0-2. Edwards is hit by the pitch, and that will load the bases.
She just gladly took that, too.
And down 0-2. Well, here's Franklin. She's got a chance to do something that I know. I cannot take that back. That will not load the base. Just first and second. I was thinking bases loaded, but no, it's first and second.
You know what was a weird stat the other day that just caught me completely by surprise? Hitting for the cycle. That no other Tiger had done that.
It's not an easy thing to do.
No, it's not. Especially softball ballparks to get a triple. And then...
Well, LSU has only had 2 players hit 3 homers in a game, and they happened in the same game. Do you remember that one? You weren't there.
I'm thinking.
I was not there. Ground ball, base hit into left field for Franklin. Rounding third, headed home is Daniel. She will score. It's 16-0 LSU.
And that ball just hopped right over the glove of Hastings.
71 off the bat, so Franklin.
Watch this. She's there.
It smoked. And it took a bounce right over the glove. The ball didn't go where she thought it was going to. It took a bounce at the end. So Franklin shakes off the 0 for 2 first inning, has 5 RBIs.
We're
now
going
in
with
the game.
another pitcher.
All right, let's take a 90-second pitching change timeout. It's 16-0 LSU on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Something new is happening at Cox. Now the price of your Cox internet and mobile plan won't go up for 3 years, and Wi-Fi equipment is included. So no frustrating price changes, just a lot more of what you want, like a pizza with extra pineapple. Yikes. Okay, let's stick with something everyone wants. No price changes on your plan, guaranteed. Learn more at cox.com/value. Must have at least 500 megabits per second speeds and Cox Unlimited mobile taxes and fees excluded from price guarantee. Mobile data speeds reduced after 20 gigs usage per month.
Hey, Louisiana! Introducing 5 new Fast Play games from the lottery. Louisiana Treasures. Win up to $3,500. Sunny Money. Win up to $10,000. Bonus Crossword. Top prize $15,000. Ultimate Dash. Top prize $25,000. And it's a Louisiana thing. You could win up to $50,000. Louisiana Lottery. Celebrating 35 years of reasons to smile. Must be at least 21 to purchase.
Not every beach hands you a rule book. Ours does.
Back to the action. LSU Fighting Tigers softball on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Auburn just trying to get a couple outs to get off the field here. Milena Tambora, 2/3 of an inning in SEC play. She's the new pitcher. 3 hits and 3 runs is her total for the year. Tambora, 12 innings and a 4.67 ERA, batting average against of 3.33. And LSU has tied their season high with 16 runs. And the game we were talking about a little while ago, back about 10, 12 years ago, LSU scored 30 at Louisiana Tech. Coach was there, as it turned out.
I was doing a CST broadcast, and
Yeah.
every time we thought we would get into a run rule situation, it would change.
And then LSU had a huge late inning double figures, but Bianca Bell and Kelsey Kloss both homered 3 times in the game. That's the only instance of 3 homers in a game for LSU, and it happened twice in the same game.
It was an unbelievable offensive explosion.
Here is Tori Edwards with 2 on and 1 out. Pitches a low strike called, and it's 0-1. Now, and what I remember, because I didn't call that game, I was watching you guys on TV. LSU found every hole, just like kind of the first inning win here. Some of those innings you couldn't place the ball in better spots than where they were hitting it. So Edwards has 2 walks and a bunt single. A little bit of a delay. Second baseman, I think, had to get an adjustment. But LSU went to work on Guerin. LSU has punished all 3 of their pitchers today. Here's the 0-1. Edwards watches it low. Guerin, an inning, 4 hits, 4 runs, only 1 earned at this point. But the 2 on the bases are responsible to her. Here's the 1-1. It's low, 2-1. 17 LSU hits. And 2-1 the count to Edwards. Pitch to Torrey is up high, ball 3.
3 errors by Auburn. Tough to play defense against behind 17 hits. Kind of get you back on your heels.
17 is a season high for LSU in the hit column. 3-1. Line drive to the gap in right field. It's going to bounce and go to the fence. That is going to score a couple. Edwards will stop at second with a 2-run double. And the Tigers have put a couple more on the board. It is 18-0. Edwards, 2 for 2, has been on base all 4 times.
Want to make a bet as to how many runs the Tigers will score in the next game? The LSU Tigers. The last night's game, or Thursday night's game, was 3-1.
3-0.
3-0.
Bergeron will bat. She is 1 for 3 with the 2-run double. 3 runs in the inning, 18-0 LSU. Strike called inside corner. Still just 1 out in the inning. There are 6 Tigers with at least 2 hits in this game. The 0-1. That's low. Lassiter 3, Daniel 4, Kylie Edwards 2, Franklin 2, Tori Edwards 2, Jada Phillips 2. Bergeron and Lorenz have 1 apiece. Hodge has 1. So all the starters have at least 1. Maddox McKee has not batted yet. She's in left field. I think we've got a pinch hitter on deck.
And as you said, LSU is hitting rockets.
Drive to center. Center fielder back, leaps up. It's off of her glove. Womack had it deflect away. Edwards is going to score run number 19, and it's 19-0. It was hit at 72 off the bat. Womack got a glove on it. We'll see how they score that one. But it was hit hard.
We have a pinch runner coming in? Yes, we do.
And it'll be Grady Appling to bat for LSU. And Destiny Harris will run it first. That should be a double for Bergeron as we've been watching it. Womack drifted back and was still drifting back and had to reach up the glove.
As we said, that's the toughest play to make. The ball hit screaming at you.
Actually, I beg your pardon, that's a single, not a double. She didn't get the second. She got the first, so it's an RBI single. I was watching Tori Edwards score. So Harris will run. Appling, the freshman, will be the pinch hitter. Appling on the year has 1 appearance in SEC play. It was last week as she was hit by a pitch. Right-handed bat takes it, strike called, and it's 0-1. Appling for the year is 2 for 3. Had a hit against McNeese the other night. There's still just 1 out in this inning, and it is 19-0 LSU. On 19 hits.
From Juliet, Georgia.
Pitch is down and in, and it is 1-1.
She's a 4-time All-State selection.
Yeah, and is just trying to crack the lineup. Kind of like an Alex Franklin type. May have a better chance next year. And
sometimes you come behind players, and guess what? You've got to wait your turn while you're working.
1-1.
Work while you're waiting.
Up the middle for a base hit. First and second. Appling now 3 for 4 on the season. That hit right at 70 miles an hour. And the hits, they keep coming. $19 runs on 20 hits. And Maddox McKee will get her first at bat.
Got Tarina trying to empty her dugout. Are we coming with another pitcher? I think we are.
You know, I'm doing a little research. 19 runs might be the most LSU has ever scored in an SEC game.
Yeah.
And we are going to have a change. We'll keep it here. Listen up, folks. Treasures only found in Louisiana. You can play Louisiana Treasures from the lottery. You can win up to $3,500. Louisiana Lottery, celebrating 35 years of reasons to smile. You must be at least 21 to purchase. And Dudley DeBosier stands up for the purple and gold and fights for Tiger fans all across Louisiana. Dudley DeBosier, proud to be an official partner of LSU Athletics. Well, I add Tambora to the list of pitchers that LSU has had their way with here in this game. And the new pitcher will be a right-hander, and it is Godfrey. They've got 2. It's Blaine Godfrey, who wears number 19. And they are getting pretty deep into their pen. Godfrey has pitched 10 innings all year, ERA of 5.60, 8 earned runs, 7 walks, 9 strikeouts.
Fastball, rise, and change.
Godfrey in league play, 1 in the 3rd inning. 2 hits and 3 runs, ERA 15.75.
Yeah, no question. They're emptying their bullpen, and
Yeah, they've still got Ella Harrison for game 2 of the doubleheader today. She's their best pitcher.
yeah,
Pitched 3 innings.
they're not going to show her in this game.
That is what they are trying to get to. So LSU an 8, a 7, and a 4 to add up to 19. So we got the research staff working on the last time LSU scored this many in a game. And I believe it is an SEC game record, 19 runs. I don't recall LSU putting 20 in a league game. They haven't scored 20 that many times, period. So here's Maddox McKee.
And just 1 out in this inning.
As there have been Lassiter, remember, lined out to the fence and center. That's been the only out of the inning. McKee will take strike 1.
What a change from the first game. 3-0 in the first game.
Harrison started that game, gave up 3 runs in the 3 innings. And then Butler came in and shut LSU down, but it has been different today. McKee takes it low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. McKee in SEC play is 167, 3 for 18.
True utility player for the Tigers. Has played in the infield, played in the outfield.
Change up strike. My research has notified me, so give me a minute. I'm looking it up. Todd Politz is our guy who has all the stuff, the record keeper of a lot of stuff with LSU sports. And ground ball up the middle, base hit. Rounding third and heading home to score run number 20 is Destiny Harris. It's 20-0.
Does everybody have a hit in this game?
Yes. Everybody who has stepped up with the bat has a hit.
It's batting practice at this point.
And here's Avery Hodge. Only Destiny Harris doesn't have a hit because she hadn't batted. She's just a pinch runner. Hodge fouls it away. Yep, everybody who's batted has a hit. Everybody who started has scored a run. Only Daniel has not driven in a run of the starters.
Looks like a typo when I'm looking at your screen.
A lot of numbers that are not 0, that's for sure. Pitches away, and it's 1-1. There's still just 1 out in the inning. 7 in a row have reached.
I wonder if Huebner's going back to the bullpen to throw a little bit. It's been a long inning. There's been a lot of long innings in this game.
Or if Coach might put somebody else out there for the 5th. The 1-1 is outside. It's 2-1.
It's going to be a run roll game, but it'll still be over 2 hours because there's so many runs being scored.
LSU has only drawn 2 walks in this game. They're both Torrey Edwards. So it is, there have been a few errors, but it has been hitting. LSU has hit the ball hard and all over the yard. Hodge takes it, and it's 3-1. Well, Lassiter may well get a chance for the 4th hit again because she is in the on-deck circle. Ground ball up the middle. It's into center field for a base hit again. Rounding third, headed home and scoring another run. And then the throw gets by going into third, and a second run's going to score. And Hodge is headed to third, and it is 22-0. A pair of 7s and an 8 on the board for LSU. And another Auburn error. The throw that went into third had a chance to get the runner, but which was Maddox McKee, but it got by. And here's Lassiter. Still just 1 out in this inning. Ground ball. That is a fair ball inside the bag down into the corner. It's 23-0. Lassiter at second with the double.
It's incredible.
Her 4th hit of the game. Her 2nd double.
It's just a barrage of hits. The ball hugging the line.
They'll make it a pair of 8s now and a 7 on the board. And Beth Torina is going to make a change here, maybe get a pinch hitter for Daniel.
Everybody in the dugout's like, give me the bat, give me the bat.
Ciela Pickett will be the batter, freshman. And this is something. I have 30 years of these. I have never seen this.
In an SEC game.
And you've done a few more years than I have.
Nope.
I won't say how many more years, but a few more. I think I was still a little kid when you were building the field down in Lafayette.
You probably were.
And here's Pickett, the freshman right-hander. There's still just one out in the inning. Lasser with that fourth hit we mentioned. Second most runs in LSU history. It is the most in an SEC game. We are getting that confirmation.
Do we know what the...
Yeah, that game at Louisiana Tech was
30?
I think it was 30. I'll find that.
I know it was was ridiculous
One
number.
hopper to third. That's going to be the second out of the inning as Robach threw to first. And Kylie Edwards will bat. She now has a chance to get a third hit. She was hit by a pitch earlier in this inning. Well, here's the thing. It is all converged into this, but we start over at 4 o'clock.
That's it, and it's got to have a short-term memory for both teams. It's a new game.
Kylie Edwards pops it foul back. Yes, that in 2016 it was 30-8. LSU beat Louisiana Tech. So that is LSU's record. Here's the 0-1 pulled foul.
And do we know how many innings that game went? I want to say 7.
It went 6.
6.
And so Louisiana Tech got a run in the fifth inning to make it 15-8.
I knew it was something crazy.
Because if they didn't score in the fifth, LSU would have won the run rule 15-7.
I remember everybody in the press box just threw up their pencils or pens.
And then LSU answered that with a 15-run sixth inning.
Oh, hit her again.
And Edwards is hit again. Second time in the game. So she's on base 4 of 5 times. And Riley Johnson will bat for Franklin. So LSU had, it was 15-7. LSU got 15 in the 6th to win 30-8. Bianca Bell, 4 for 5, 3 homers, 9 runs batted in. That is an LSU record. Kelsey Kloss had 3 homers, 4 hits. She drove in 4. Sandy Simmons was 3 for 5 in that game.
That would have to be a record for the diamond sports, right? Baseball, could baseball?
Probably,
well, maybe in the Gorilla days.
I don't know if we ever got 30. We were in the upper 20s a couple times. Well, here's Riley Johnson, who singled against McNeese the other night. Lefty will take it low, ball 1. It has been an 8-run inning. There's runners at first and second. 23 runs on 23 hits.
Torina says she's going to be a future great player just behind some really good upperclassmen right now.
Pitch is up and away, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
To all the viewers, remember there's going to be another game, so you might have turned this one off and watching something else, but come back.
2-0. Pop-up foul by the lefty, and it's 2-1. And again, Auburn, their mission coming into this weekend was win 1 game.
And they can still do that.
And win 1 at the SEC tournament, and they've got a chance for the NCAAs. They can lose this game 1,000,000-0. They can still win 1 game. So that is how they respond to this. But they've still got something to play for. The 2-1 line drive to the gap in left field. It's going to get down and roll to the fence. It's going to score 1. Second runner is going to come around and score. It is 25-0.
We're getting close, Patrick.
We're gaining on it. It is a 10-run 4th inning.
But I think this one's going to go 5.
It better.
Unlike the Louisiana Tech game.
Now Auburn's going to need a lot of runs to make that happen. Here's Tori Edwards. Now Riley Johnson drives in a couple.
I mean, everything that the Tigers hit is a shot to where no one is.
Hook foul. Edwards hit that one hard. I also believe this is an LSU record for runs scored in a game. I'm sorry, for hits in a game. That one I can find. I know where to find that one. I'll look it up. Here's the 0-1 to Edwards. That's high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
A little late break on that pitch.
Yeah, I think that surprised the catcher a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
LSU 8 in the first, 7 in the third, 10 in the fourth. 1-1. High fly ball, not deep. Left field, somebody's got to come get it, though. Left fielder will run in and grab it, and that will end it. 10 runs in the fourth. We go to the fifth. LSU leads Auburn 25-0. We're back after this on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Everything LSU hit was a rocket, was a home run, was a gapper.
And the softball gods do strange things.
Oh, they do. Watch the next game.
And you don't know why they do them, but they do. MMR, the largest privately owned open shop electrical and instrumentation contractor in the nation, a proud partner of LSU Athletics. And we remind you that Hancock Whitney is the official bank of LSU Athletics. Learn more at HancockWhitney.com/LSU. Delaney Almua will bat. Right-handed batter. She pinch hit here Thursday night. And we'll take it up high, ball 1. Almua was 0 for 1. She struck out against Peyton Monticelli. So Auburn's still trying for their first run of the series. 1-0. It is high a little bit, and it's ball 2. All right, Missouri, a come-from-behind win over Tennessee.
Oh.
4-3, so Missouri
fighting for their lives.
Needed it. Strike called, and it's 2-1. So Missouri now 28-28. And like I said, if I was reading this right, Auburn and Missouri will be paired up in the SEC tournament, both needing a win. A pop-up off the thumbs to Tori Edwards. She'll catch it, and there's one down.
Is that series over, or
Yeah.
do they play tomorrow?
No, they're finished.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Everybody ends
They weren't
today.
weather delayed.
So Missouri 28-28. Now, they are not necessarily guaranteed because their RPI is not as high as Auburn's was.
That's a big factor.
Yeah, now a win over Tennessee will help that a little bit. Here is Alyssa Hastings, who takes it up high, ball 1. Missouri's RPI coming into play. Still looking for it. Did I pass it? 39. All right, so that's still, they still got a good shot. Strike called. So they got the win over Tennessee today. That may bump them up a little bit. And then a win at the SEC tournament. That they would still be, I think, in line for an at-large as well. 1-1 is high, and it's 2-1.
Unless there's all kind of upsets in conference tournaments.
And that's where you start rooting for the non-upsets and bid stealers in conference tournaments. But just to be considered, you got to be 500. Missouri took a huge step toward that today. Strike called, and it's 2-2. Now, with this loss, as we've been telling you, Auburn is going to fall 2 games, or they're going to fall 1 game under at 25-26. Foul ball out of play. So if they can win game 2 this afternoon, they would also be 500. And you can do, and if you win a game at the SEC tournament, you're guaranteed to finish 500. But what a story it'll be if it's Auburn and Missouri playing each other in the tournament.
Ooh.
Strike 3 called at the knees, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, that would be a tough one.
Oh, an out away from a historic win here.
This game will have done wonders for the batting averages.
Yes, they're all going to go up a little bit. And Michaela Walker, the last hope for Auburn. Now, in pitches, now with Missouri winning, they're 9-15. Mississippi State could lose and go to 9-15. I have no idea who owns that tiebreaker. So it's not a guarantee that Auburn and Missouri are matched up, but it's a possibility. Strike called. All we still really know is that LSU and Georgia will play the 8 versus 9 game.
I'll leave all the math to you, Patrick. You are the master.
And when you got 15 teams that only play 24 games, you got tiebreakers and all kinds of stuff. Pitch is high, and it's 2-1. But the TV, the SEC tournament's made for TV. They like their storylines, and that an Auburn, Missouri elimination matchup for postseason play would be a story for them to tell on Tuesday.
You know, I just noticed the LSU flag today is teal. Seniors, as you said earlier, the seniors got to pick the uniforms.
3-1 is ball 4. Though a 2-out walk for the aptly named Michaela Walker, and Annalie Adams will bat. Auburn with just 2 hits, 3 errors in the game, and Adams, who is 0 for 2, will hit.
Just like the Maytag repairman, the coaches have been very lonely on the offensive coach's box.
Now, some of these pitches are close, and Huebner's not getting the call. And it's 1-0. And here is the 1-0. That's a change-up. She found that pitch today and used it well.
And she needs to find that pitch, period. I think that's kind of really what's missing in her arsenal. Everything is the same speed.
1-1. Up and in, 2 balls and a strike. 25-0 LSU.
How many times have you ever said that in your life?
Well, since I wasn't at the 30-run game, that would be never. That would be never. Here's the 2-1. Chopper foul, counts 2-2. Huebner at 91 pitches. Could be used in game 2 if coach wants to go with her. Needs her maybe for a couple batters or whatever. Here's the 2-2. Line drive on 1 bounce. It'll go to Sierra Daniel, but there's nobody at first to throw to because Edwards tried to go make the play. So an infield hit, and they've got runners at first and second.
And, you know, I tried to practice that all the time with the pitchers cover first base. That's just normal for a baseball player to do that. But in softball, the field's so small, it's just not in their nature to go over there. That could have been the only play.
Yeah.
They had Huebner going to first.
Yeah, and you never see that in softball.
Yeah, never. We used to teach it. They'd forget to do it.
Let's see. We have a pinch hitter for Auburn. Oh, it's 30. Okay, 36 is Kyla Stroud. And she will be the batter. Right hand.